one of these skill shots, in Pantheon's case, good old point and click. You can chain that with a spear, get a lot of damage down, and especially in this early game, not an early kill.
Here we go. It has been a while. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We are now done with our podcast, though, because we have a League of Legends cast.
League of Legends cast, indeed. And TJ, we talked about the red side team getting rolling early. What about a level 1 to, really get the party started? Look at this time.
Beam Destroyers on the red, of course, WulfPack in blue. Ooh. And the level 1 from Beam Destroyers does not find anything other than a ward. I saw that snowball get rolling, and I was very worried briefly, for I believe that was modified too. Got a little bit of snow on him, but managed to stay ahead of it, and nothing comes from the aggression.
I will say, so Mark Boots playing this new mid, we actually went up against him in UCL. Their team, Mad City, I believe, won UCL the previous split. Very talented mid laner to be playing in this, so another person to keep your eye out for, especially on this pick. It's going to be getting out of lane early and often, as Nunu, as we've laid out, he's got to make something happen. He's got to get things rolling.
When we watched WulfPack yesterday, it was Raheen who blew our minds. Who was on the Caitlyn and just was like 7-0 by the 5-minute mark. They do obviously have stiffer competition, though, with many players that we recognize from the collegiate and amateur scene. This game on Beam Destroyers, though, it'll be interesting to see how much of a repeat act he's able to put together.
Yeah, you can already see the early priority coming out from Mark Boots. He's able to get that mid lane shove in, drop a ward on the Raptor camp, help Nidalee track Graves. And TJ, I guess it's the podcast that never ends.
So how's golf?
Oh, God. I don't want to put these guys to sleep. I mean...
What's up with golf?
What's up with golf? I mean, it's a great sport.
You, play golf regularly, though, right?
I do. I used to be a 4 handicap, which means I usually would shoot 4 over. Which
that didn't actually explain anything. You said I used to be a 4 handicap, which means I would shoot 4 over, and neither of those mean anything to me.
Well, the handicap, you plug all your scores in, and it gives you a number.
Okay.
But thankfully, we don't have to talk about this because I don't want to put
that's good because I didn't really want to learn about golf. So we're
back to the action.
I was like, Cubby.
We're gonna pick a different topic next time we have to podcast. I'm gonna make a TJ focused topic.
If we get another pause, I'm gonna sit down and say, "So what's up with golf?"
Viewers drop by 20.
Back into the game, whatever that tech issue was, it has been resolved. And again, the onus for this early game is on Beam Destroyers in the red. They need to make something happen within this first 10-15 minutes phase. If we get past that, Raheen and co will come online to a degree that doesn't necessarily end the game, but certainly puts them in the lead.
Yeah, so something I actually really want to see out of Beam Destroyers is I want to see them start to bounce these waves, right? Because if the waves start coming into them, and, they can try and freeze it or put the enemy side lanes in a tough position to farm, it really opens up things for the Nunu, right? With every lane shoved in right now, Nunu can't... he can go around, get vision, try and track the Graves, but he doesn't have any lane he can really target. So I want to see him try and bounce these waves so they can get this Nunu some space to open up, roll that snowball into one of the side lanes.
He has been taking a couple traps, poking around with the idea of roaming, but it's all been for vision. Our first attempt at gank is up here in the top lane. We're modifying into spear. This gets dangerous very fast. We're watching down bottom where Mice and the Meek is getting pushed back. He's set up well for Stain, but the root doesn't land. And now Stain off the rotate is in trouble. Up top in the meantime, Modified will be poked down. First blood over to Beam Destroyers. And they stay safe from the aggression down bottom.
Yeah, good look from the Beam Destroyers. They deny a pretty big wave against that Gangplank and even force him to itemize into a Doran Shield. It's going to set everything else he has behind as he's just looking to survive the poke and all the damage coming out from the Lucian. And in fact, they denied the play on the opposite side of the map. They get ahead early. And a nice lead for this Lucian, which lead given to BMD. He is usually able to cash these in on the side lane.
I remember I was casting ESL Collegiate, and BMD was playing Darius and got ahead and just got like 16 kills.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have a good top laner in Collegiate and you're going up against BMD, he's going to make your life very difficult. I think a lot of our praise for BMD also throughout the SGC season was actually his laning, right? We always thought that BMD was a fantastic laner, really good in the 1v1, and the place that he could up his play most was actually his teleport play and his team play when he was put on picks like Ornn. Giving him the Lucian and a very favorable matchup should really set things up for BMD to, you know, have that lane kingdom in the top side of the map.
We'll see whether or not they can double down, but we've certainly already seen the early priority on that, with the early roam coming out from the Nidalee, whose name I am not going to attempt to read. So, Cubby, I'm leaving that to you.
All right, give me 5, TJ. We'll put a
right.
pin in that. Yeah, and not like the American pin, like the British pin, where like we actually come back to it.
That's table you're thinking of, but I appreciate that you do remember the difference. Hold up, I'm actually setting a timer right
Here we
now.
go.
Meantime, there's a fight down bottom. Meek in
Zoe.
trouble. Will be backing away, but there's no way out of this, and Blaze actually flashes forward to keep chasing. And just as we're talking up BMD on the top side, we get an inkling of what went so right for WulfPack yesterday in Raheen's AD carry play. He's got a first blood for his team.
Yeah, great response coming out from the team. You could see the Graves was already there to answer that play. A quick teleport coming in from Zoe as well to give them the numbers advantage, and Noonan wasn't able to get out of lane, so they're able to cash that one in, get some gold over to their AD carry, and this is exactly what they want to do, right? Counter these early plays, try and get into the 15-minute mark on even footing, and if they're able to prevent picks, they're going to be in a really good shape for the rest of this one.
So, this was the win condition, right? Get Raheen out. Can't turn fast enough! His tires are too wide, Cubby. And
oh boy.
Fartfoods is in trouble. Blaze with the paddle star, dodged by a flash. I don't know if that was strictly necessary. Mark
Yeah, he could have used his
burning-
ultimate for the shield.
He was basically burning a summoner spell to make sure he could stay in lane. Down bottom, we're going to see continued poke. This is the best attempt from Beam Destroyers to punish Raheen. And it's not going well. Here comes the attempted flank from the Nidalee, but nothing. Nothing found.
Yeah, and the timing is just a little bit off for Beam Destroyers, right? They're trying to attack these lanes when the lanes are already shoved in, right? They want the lanes to bounce, keep the waves on their side of the map, and then attack coming on up. So if they're able to manage their wave states a little bit better as we go on, might help. Is
He
nice
just
cancel
interrupted
there by
the
Slogan.
stun with his belly slap.
Very nice.
And now, there's the arrow right off of level 6.
It's
Raheen
here.
would like to make a turn. There was an engage down bottom, up top. Brown Man is struggling.
Is he?
Ulti will be burned. Doesn't look like he has access to modify despite knocking him low though, and Nuri commits. BMD might have bitten off a bit more than he can chew here. He will not get Nuri. Down bottom, both Stain and Might and Meek did survive. Nobody had to back. Raheen and Slogan got dropped low, but apparently won the trade.
So close coming out there from BMD. If he angled his ultimate a little bit better, that might have been the extra couple shots he needed to get that damage through. Rest of the fight he played out really well, but over-aggression from him in that lane, and it's a big kill going over to the side of WulfPack because it buys GP time. It gets him some more gold and XP, and they also got Lucian's teleport out of that as well.
So a hell of a start for WulfPack, especially given that, again, they are the team that is supposed to be struggling a bit during this game state. They are the team that is supposed to come into their own past the 15-minute mark. Them trading even is everything they need. This is victory for them. Blaze will have to burn his flash, but there's Zoe.
Oh, that
It'll be
snowball
just
just disappear?
It hit the turret, I think.
It did hit the turret. I didn't see it after Nunu, dropped it, but That's fine. Zoe's still able to dodge out on the Visible, and I've been really impressed, actually, with the play of WulfPack so far, and
global warming,
disappointed. Man. Yeah, that's true.
Snowballs are melting fast now.
That's true.
Not like it used to be. The sheet ice in the Arctic, man.
We need the ice balls back.
You seen the new David Attenborough documentary?
I've not. What does it
Got
cover?
a new one on Netflix. The name I'm blanking on right now, but
Ooh.
you can find it. Good.
He's a very, very good director. Documentary.
He's like, global warming sucks. And you're like, yeah, it does, David. Drake will be picked up by WulfPack.
I want to see new snowballs forever.
I want to see new snowballs forever. And that's why we need to be careful about global warming.
It's even bleeding into the rift. As a Drake taken from WulfPack, and a lead in the early games. This is huge for them. They've been able to contain the new roams coming on out, and minimal plates being sacked. They have a 1.5k gold lead. Bodes very well for them as they transition into the rest of the game, and possible dive coming into this bot lane. They have levels.
Possible? I can go as far as probable as Nuri arrives, but they break the turret plate, and Nuri's like, my job here is done. Bails.
160 gold. We move on.
Walks away.
I have camps.
You got things to do.
Curious to see BMD opting for a little bit more of a scaling build in this top lane. Looks like he's trying to match Gangplank throughout the game. Doesn't want the immediate power going for something like an Essence Reaver or a Blade of the Ruin King. Instead, stacking up that tier, looking for some later power. So maybe trying to bridge some of that failed early game they've had so far.
Cubby, I have just gotten an alarm. Please tell me how to say the Nidalee name.
Oh, Byunju El Zik Diff. Might be caught out here.
He's in big trouble. He'll go down. Nuri finds the kill onto Bungju.Diff.
Yeah, a little bit of mispositioning coming out of Byungju Zik Diff as the Nidalee, all those hop, skips, and jumps, not going to get him away from the smokescreen. And the rest of WulfPack, as I think another big part about this game is the lead that Graves has opened up against this Nidalee. It's supposed to scale or really ramp so hard in the early game with tempo. I mean, it's been all Graves so far. He is up about 4 camps on this Nidalee. It's a lot of golden XP, and he's got 3 levels over the cat.
Is the V silent?
Oh.
Culling will
We're gonna
be
go with
burned,
that, yeah.
as well as the cannon barrage in the top lane. Bungju Diff is roaming in. Nuri will be there to contest. And here comes the mid laner. Global warming be damned. Mark Boots will arrive. Dawning Shadow from across the map. No HP left on Nuri.
no.
Bottom Stain is in trouble. He'll go down. Nuri is burned by the Ignite and will fall up top. BMD inside the bush. Trades 1 for 1. Blaze falls as well. It's modified V2. He's got so much citrus though. He just may be able to find this trade. He'll have to bail. Snowball chasing him. Mark Boots wins the fight up top. Down bottom, Beam Destroyers lose out though. So it's an even trade across the map.
Yeah, even trade across the map. Props to Mark Boots for bending it like Beckham as he drifts those snowballs around the map. That said, first brick is going to go over to the Beam Destroyers, but the fact that this Senna is so far behind and was denied that double wave in the bot lane as well. I mean, Raheen, it seems to be the same script as yesterday. This guy is rolling through this bot lane against a Pantheon, too. I mean, Pantheon, he has that early dominance in the laning phase. It's been all Raheen.
Check out this sick drifting. Vin Diesel would be proud. He sets up. Absolutely nukes the Graves. And then things get a little bit more dangerous. My big takeaway from this is how long BMD was able to stay alive. Just kiting away from that. Because the whole fight started with him being kind of caught out. He's still incredible. Down bottom, Raheen spotted an opportunity the second then the Dawning Shadow was being cast. They engaged onto Stain.
Zoe is here, but so is the Snowball. Let's see if they look for any plays.
Mark
no.
Over the wall, the Might of the Meek is burst down before they can even fight. Mark will chase, find the kill. Does he get away? Looks like it. Oh!
Ooh.
You didn't need to step close to that wall, Might.
shotgun to the face as Graves is able to take that kill. TJ, I'm afraid I have to call you out on something too. Vin Diesel, no longer a driver, he's a musician now, as he's made music.
Forgot.
Yeah. Have you seen that video, by the way?
I tried to carve it out of my mind, which is how I forgot that he had released a dance track.
I want that video just imprinted on my mind, because I don't think anything can possibly be funnier than everyone they brought into that Zoom call to just awkwardly dance on cam to the song that he produced. That was some of the best humor I've ever seen.
Full engage will come through. Nuri is gone. Slogan and Raheem need to get out of here as well. This could actually be a massive pickup for Beam Destroyers. And Slogan's got a flash, but BMD's waiting for him off of the TP. Goodbye, Raheem. Goodbye, WulfPack bot lane.
Wow, great turn coming out from Beam Destroyers as WulfPack, they bite off more than they can chew, and their pack is taken down from 5 to 2. We have Zoe going for the American Steel, not going to find it.
He could have had that, but he missed the Drake.
He was going for chip damage.
No, but he actually could have had that. Do you see how much damage his Paddle Star is doing? He actually could have stolen that, but he missed the Drake.
He also has Smite.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you on this one, TJ, as global warming getting the best of that snowball, but Mark Boot's going to get the best of that control ward. And all of a sudden, we have an even gold graph game.
Blaze there, I'm sorry, mate.
No.
Drake will be picked up, as you said. Wildly enough, by Beam Destroyers. I think it's important to note they did get the shutdown onto Raheem. That was necessary.
Yes. Putting this Ashe further behind, very necessary, because she has gotten way too far ahead in this one, and Stain still has a lot of ground to make up on the setup.
Raheem will grab the Rift Herald up top. And that is the second Rift Herald of the game. The first one went to Beam Destroyers. They used it to take the first turret of the game up on that top side. They're going to take the second one over on WulfPack and bring it here towards mid. This is Sheldon, in my books at least. Looks like they won't even need it for the second. Here comes the Glacial Arrow.
Nice.
And an easy kill. What a great series of ultimates. Might of the Meek will cast in, supported by the Dawning Shadow, but there's no way he stays alive.
Snowball.
Conga line of death here as Mark Boots eventually arrives, but with the cannon barrage behind his team, there's just no way in. Mark Boots is going to get isolated as well. I don't think he survives this, but he plays it very well. Nuri will be turned on, but he gets the kill. Stain is the last player alive after all of that. Beam Destroyers trade 1 for 4 and lose 2 turrets.
Yeah, and the Death Ball doing work here for the WulfPack as they're able to group up and just pick off the members of Beam Destroyers one by one. This is really where their comp struggles, right? If they're not able to skirmish and find picks early, they go into these fights in even gold footing against the grouping of the Gangplank Ashe. I mean, it's so tricky for these guys to get a solid engage off, and props to WulfPack because they were able to pick off the members of Beam Destroyers one by one.
I really liked that first engage where Raheem goes arrow into Slogan's explosive cask.
It's a beautiful cask as well.
And they just get handed a kill. And then Might of the Meek ulted into 5. And that was where I kind of got frustrated, lost the thread.
I mean, it's a Mantheon play. You gotta go for this.
Yeah, but like, watch this. So brilliant execute. And Might of the Meek's like, nah, I got this. And there's just no winning this fight from this point on. And every little bit of investment that comes after, including this play from Mark,
watch this Gangplank barrel.
Unfathomably, I don't know, there's just no way you win this.
Yeah, just isolated members one by one, and props to Modified as well, who had a really tough lane up against the Lucian and is really pumping out the damage down on that Gangplank. He had a massive barrel in that fight, which really, helped ensure the fact that they took this one easily, as BMD, Gangplank all committed.
Drake will be coming up, which is what this is all about. Might of the Meek is very far forward, but they absolutely nuke the Nidalee first. BMD all alone will fall as well, doing a terrifying amount of damage before he dies, but doesn't change the result. WulfPack with 3 kills around the Drake. And Beam Destroyers won't even be able to contest this Ocean pickup.
Yeah, another great cast from Slogan. He got BMD away from that wall, ensured they were able to pick up the kill. As you mentioned, TJ, you know, this Gragas, once you get him out of that lane phase, that cast's still one of the best ultimates we have in the game. Displacement, he's really using it well.
I'm gonna go again for Beam Destroyers though. I don't know why you're 3v5 contesting the Drake a minute before it comes up.
Yeah.
Like, what is the thought process as to why you have 3 players committing to that fight?
Yeah, I think Beam Destroyers really need to slow down this game and try and, you know, farm out these 3 waves and try and get more gold on this Lucian. That's really the only way they can get back into this one, because if they go into the death ball of WulfPack Esports, they do not stand a chance, as they've been demonstrating so far.
Yeah, and of course every kill they give over, even in these even trades when we get them, favors WulfPack. So it's very difficult to see a way out for them now.
Oh boy.
There's Mark Boots committing. We'll see what he can do with the Dawning Shadow behind him. It is big damage onto the backline of Blaze, but it's not enough. Here comes the turn. Slogan right on in. Staying in trouble. And a complete and clean ace as WulfPack have arrived in their dominant late game. That will be the Drake picked up. That should be Baron as well. And this may be game.
Yeah, great play coming out from WulfPack. I love that setup, too, as they recognize the fact that Beam Destroyers were kind of coming in from different angles, and they split up and just isolated them one by one again. I mean, Raheem just goes untouched in that one as Mark Boots... we saw that snowball. It wasn't global warming, but he did get melted by the rest of the team of WulfPack.
I'm starting to think we're blaming global warming when... I don't know. It's just a man with a space heater, you know? Like, global, you know, there's definitely some bigger problems there, but Mark Boots running Snowball into the tankiest members of the team as an engage. Yeah. Like, he actually did chunk Blaze a lot, but Blaze isn't going to die to a Nunu unless he screws up spectacularly. Who is he targeting here? I don't know. Raheem plays it very well, kiting it back, and there's just no access to the members that actually could be burned down by him.
Oh, another great play coming out from Slogan as well on that Gragas. I mean, changing up the angle on that E-Flash to knock up 2 members and ensure they're able to get that clean ace. Really good play out of this guy's Gragas, and it's not a support pick we're used to seeing. I wasn't 100% sure about it into the Pantheon, but he is piloting this fantastically in bot lane.
Raheem's positioning flank has been really impressive to me over both days. Not that arrow, though. It does go wide, but oh my lord, the Paddle Star doesn't. Italy will survive. VMD gets locked down and picked off behind the turret. Raheem goes deep. Will get shut down as a result. Slogan tries to pick up the turret and get away. WulfPack may have picked up more than they could chew, though. Here comes the ulti. Snowball for 2. Slogan will fall alongside Blaze and Raheem. And that's actually some major pickups back to Beam Destroyers. Doesn't quite undo the deficit they're at, not by a long shot, but it's some.
Bit of overreach coming on in there from WulfPack is going to drop some members. Beam Destroyers find some free gold on the map, but still losing objectives as this Gangplank is still farming his way up in the bot lane, going to take down that turret. Also,
that new
mini grab.
Fast now, man. Oh, is he building Deadmans? He absolutely is.
Nunu's going to have Strode.
We're getting there, buddy.
He's going to have Strode pretty soon.
This is still not a Muramana transformation, by the way, on Stein.
Yeah, I've kind of decided to just block the Senna out of my mind. It's been a really rough game for Senna. Yeah.
I mean, he's doing all right KDA-wise. His positioning in the fight's been good.
Oh, no. Goodbye.
That positioning wasn't very good. Oh, almost gets away with it as well, but Nuri is on point.
Yeah, with the 2 giant Space Eater items that he has in both lethality items, he's just ripping through the side of Beam Destroyers and tears through the Nidalee there as well, who doesn't have any armor. Not going to feel good in the lethality graves.
Maybe look at some of that Magi's. I don't know. Putting out bad ideas at this point. There we go.
How can it be putting out bad ideas when there's no pages to it?
Yeah. It's going to be a pickup. Might of the Meat will fall away. And this turret should be dropped down as a result, because there's just no way to deal with the siege that is available. We'll take another minion wave, though, and WulfPack don't have that kind of time. They're busy men, Cubby. They got places to be, things to do.
Gotta take away those camps, deny all that gold. As Nuri continues to flourish ahead in the jungle lead, and that's a nice match as well.
Slapped. And goodbye, Mark Boots. There will be a desperate engage, but Might of the Meek is picked up immediately afterwards. And Beam Destroyers are now down 2 players as WulfPack push forwards. That's going to be the inhibitors picked up. Poor Nidalee hunted down behind the turret, slapped and executed. Blaze finding the kill. The respawns are still like 20 seconds away, so this could be game if it's played aggressively.
Yeah, Blaze is going to base and TP to a minion and try and keep it alive. They have to try and kill off this minion wave. Oh, actually,
What a great cask. No kills found off of it, but everyone's zoned back. There's no turret play left. Into stasis goes Nuri. He will be shut down. Now it's a desperate rush for the Nexus. Do they have the damage? I don't think so. WulfPack can't quite end the game unless they find these kills. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Brown Man with the kills. Barely in time. Manages to find a triple, a quadra, right outside the Nexus. And with maybe 20 HP on their Nexus, Beam Destroyers will stay in the game.
Okay, things are still looking pretty grim for Beam Destroyers, but hey, 4 kills on a Lelouch, and hey, there's a couple Mirror Manas transformed as well. They at least buy themselves some time, not to mention Ocean Drake coming through here, and hey, good play from them. Able to stay alive and take an objective off of it.
I was like, they don't have the damage to focus down the Nexus. And then they started focusing down the Nexus in earnest, and I was like, oh, maybe they
Oh boy.
Do you ever, okay, question for a coach. Is there ever any upside to going for kills in that situation? The second the Nexus is exposed, your entire team should just be autoing it, right?
It really depends on the situation. It's a total cop-out answer, but I mean, if you don't have the damage, you don't have the damage.
Okay, so watch when the focus starts coming in earnest onto the Nexus here.
I mean, the issue is that Raheen goes down, right? Once the AD carry goes down, they don't have the damage anymore. And so the fact that BMD was able to take out the Ashe is really the big play that opens this up, and BMD just rips through the rest of the fight.
They still almost get it, though, which leads me to believe that if Slogan or Blaze had like it, it once or twice more.
Oh boy.
Oh dear. May not be necessary. Crying over spilt milk as the mid lane does get demolished there. Beam Destroyers. Down 2 players, and here we go for the game again. There are no Nexus turrets remaining. And WulfPack will try and exploit that. Shoving forward, BMD does find a good trade onto Nuri, but he's lost his AD carry. Stain is gone, so is Mark Boots. BMD, the only player alive, as WulfPack take a victory lap, and will pick up their game just in the semi-finals.
WulfPack Esports moving on to the finals, rather commanding as well, as they really stalled out that early game comp coming out from Beam Destroyers and able to pull things together in Deathball, find themselves a pretty easy win.
Yeah, it looked really dominant, I would say, from moment one. There was this sketchiness where the top lane started going well for BMD, and that could have spiraled into something, but Raheen, who is the dominant force on that team, did well, and there's no way back from Raheen getting ahead in the early game when he is supposed to be your late game carry.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with Slogan's Gragas as well. I mean, like I said, I wasn't 100%, you know, about the pick. I can see why it would do okay into the Pantheon, but hey, once they got out of that lane phase, those casks were on point for the entirety of the game. Really think that's why they took that pick, to just kind of, you know, stall out that lane phase, prevent Pantheon from getting kills, and then later in the game, I mean, you have that very powerful ultimate ability coming out, used it to perfection, and WulfPack Esports just kind of clumping up, able to take members down one by one, and made it look pretty easy, as you mentioned.
And we criticized the Ashe to just call ourselves out. We were like, I don't know if you should be picking Ashe into a full engage lane.
Yeah.
And he just played the positioning so perfect. Raheen is never cooled down. And that's really good to see. We do have a finals ahead of us, a best of 3 for $500. We, of course, now know that WulfPack will be awaiting the winner of Virginia Tech versus Genshin Addicts. Do you know anything about the Virginia Tech team?
I do not, so I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Some scouting for Cubby's collegiate career. We're going to go to a quick break, he said coherently and on his first try. When we come back, the Tournament of Terror will continue. Don't go anywhere. Root doesn't land, and now staying off the rotate is in trouble. Up top in the meantime, Modified will be poked down. First blood over to Beam Destroyers. And hold up, I'm actually setting a timer right
Here we
now.
go.
Meantime, there's a fight down bottom. Meek in
Zoe.
trouble. Will be backing away, but there's no way out of this, and Blaze actually flashes forward to keep chasing. And just as we're talking up BMD in the top side, we get an inkling of what went, so Nuri will be there to contest. And here comes the mid laner. Global Warming be damned. Mark Boots will arrive. Dawning Shadow from across the map. No HP left on Nuri. Down bottom, Stain is in trouble. He'll go down. Nuri is burned by the Ignite and will fall up top. BMD inside the bush, trades 1-for-1. Blaze falls as well. It's Modified v2. He's got so much citrus though, he just may be able to find this trade. He'll have to bail. Snowball chasing him. Mark Boots wins the fight up top. Down bottom, Beam Destroyers lose out though. So it's an even trade across the map.
Yeah, that was some of the best humor I've ever seen.
Full engage will come through. Nuri is gone. Slogan and Raheem need to get out of here as well. This could actually be a massive pickup for Beam Destroyers. And Slogan's got a flash, but BMD's waiting for him off of the TP. Goodbye, Raheem. Goodbye, WulfPack bot lane. In my books, at least. Looks like they won't even need it for the second. Here comes the Glacial Arrow.
Nice.
And an easy kill. What a great series of ultimates. Might and the Meek will cast in, supported by the Dawning Shadow, but there's no way he stays alive.
Snowball.
Conga line of death here as Mark Boots eventually arrives, but with the Cannon Barrage behind his team, there's just no way in. Mark Boots is going to get isolated as well. I don't think he survives this, but he plays it very well. Nuri will be turned on, but he gets very difficult to see a way out for them now.
Oh boy.
There's Mark Boots committing. We'll see what he can do with the Dawning Shadow behind him. It is big damage onto the backline of Blaze, but it's not enough. Here comes the turn. Slogan right on in. Staying in trouble. And a complete and clean ace. As WulfPack have arrived in their dominant late game. That will be no kills found off of it, but everyone's zoned back. There's no turret play left. Into stasis goes Nuri. He will be shut down. Now it's a desperate rush for the Nexus. Do they have the damage? I don't think so. WulfPack can't quite end the game unless they find these kills. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. Brown Man with the kills. Barely in time. Manages to find a triple, a quadra, right outside the Nexus. And with maybe 20 HP on their Nexus, Beam Destroyers will stay in the game. Nexus turrets remaining. And WulfPack will try and exploit that. Shoving forward, BMD does find a good trade onto Nuri, but he's lost his AD carry. Stain is gone, so is Mark Boots. BMD, the only player alive, as WulfPack take a victory lap and will pick up their game just in the semi-finals.